For thousands of years, the story of Noah's Ark has stood as one of the most powerful and enduring accounts in human history. A world-ending flood, a massive wooden vessel, and a new beginning for humanity. According to Genesis 6:14-15, God instructed Noah to build the ark exactly 300 cubits long. Most people know the story. But what if physical evidence of that vessel has been sitting quietly in eastern Turkey, not on Mount Ararat's icy peak, but just a few miles away? In 1959, a Turkish army captain named İlhan Durupinar spotted something unusual in aerial photographs. A huge, boat-shaped formation on a mountainside 18 miles south of Mount Ararat. It wasn't a vague outline. It was sharp, symmetrical, and measured an astonishing 515 feet. Almost the exact length the ark would be if built with the Egyptian royal cubit. And Genesis 8:4 says the ark rested on the mountains of Ararat, not necessarily the modern peak. That detail alone made researchers stop and look again. Earthquakes later pushed the formation upward, revealing its shape even more clearly, as if the land itself was exposing a secret. Explorers and researchers visited the site for decades. Some used primitive metal detectors and claimed to find iron patterns under the ground, patterns they interpreted as the remnants of ancient beams or fittings. Others pointed to giant stones in nearby villages that resembled ancient ship anchors called drogue stones. Skeptics dismissed all of it, but the mystery never fully died. Recently, a new team of American and Turkish researchers brought modern scientific tools to the site, tools that didn't exist 40 years ago. They began with soil samples. If a massive wooden structure had once been buried there, the soil should show signs of decayed organic material. And according to the team, that's exactly what they found. Samples from inside the formation contained elevated levels of organic matter and potassium. Consistent, they argue, with the breakdown of ancient timber. Genesis describes the ark as fully wooden and sealed with pitch. If such a structure decayed over millennia, the surrounding soil would not look ordinary. But the most dramatic evidence came from underground scanning. Using ground-penetrating radar, the team sent signals deep into the formation and studied the reflections. What they interpreted shocked them. Long parallel lines, angular shapes, and what appeared to be internal compartments. Even more interesting, they reported 3 distinct layers inside the formation, and Genesis 6:16 gives this detail. Make it with lower, second, and third decks. 3 decks, 3 radar layers, a match, if the interpretation is correct. However, mainstream geologists disagree. They argue the formation is a natural geological fold called a syncline. Synclines can form symmetrical, ship-like shapes with layered interiors, especially in areas with heavy tectonic activity. They say the soil chemistry could come from natural processes. They say the radar reflections could be fractured rock, not man-made rooms. Even many Christian geologists who believe in the global flood reject this site as the ark's final resting place. And yet, certain details continue to fuel curiosity. The size matches the biblical measurement almost exactly. The location fits the biblical description of the mountains of Ararat. The internal radar patterns, while debated, line up eerily well with the ark's 3-deck design. And Jesus himself treated Noah's story as historical in Matthew 24:37, saying, "As it was in the days of Noah." To millions of believers, that means the ark was real. And if it was real, then it had to land somewhere. So, what is this formation? A geological accident? A natural shape that just happens to match the dimensions of the most famous ship in history? Or the decayed remains of an ancient vessel built according to divine instruction? The Noah's Ark Scans team believes only a controlled excavation can settle the debate. They are seeking permission to dig, carefully, scientifically, and publicly. And if that day comes, the world may finally see what lies beneath the soil, rock or relic. For now, the mystery remains buried, and the most legendary ship ever described may still be sleeping under the mountains of Ararat, waiting for its story to rise again. What do you think is really under the ground in eastern Turkey? Natural formation? Archaeological discovery? Or a piece of biblical history left for our generation to uncover? Share your thoughts in the comments. And if you want to follow every update as this story unfolds, make sure you like this video, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss what comes next.